say nobody won't hear the truth. It take power, take bulletproof. Buy properties overseas. No, we create the world. No, we create the world. We the pointy finger at each other.
10 minutes.
But no, we create the world. They like to take my time, but I didn't waste the people. She talk, say time no day aside, oh. Say for her work, they quick, they dark, yo. And I go love her till I die, go. But our hearts don't turn to stone.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, Lagos. Good afternoon, Ifako. Good afternoon, Nigeria. Good afternoon, Africa. Good afternoon, planet Earth. How are you doing today? Yeah, it's a good day, a refreshing moment from Ifako radio to the world. And you all know what time it is today. It is the time and the moment for people and politics. Yeah, it is important that we dive into the heart of the society. We see the intersection between people and the people that govern the people. You know, there is the term democracy, which concerns everybody, which also relates with governance. We are all people in government, and democracy is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. So today we are going to be discussing people and politics. And trust me, from Ifako Radio, we give you top notch. We give you the best discussion, and we bring the best ends to everything we want to do. We know our onions in Ifako Radio. So in a short moment, we are going to be bringing up our guests. Okay. Welcome back, and today, as I've said, we are going to be giving you the best hand for our discussion on people and politics. Victor Kolade Adobajale is my name, and I'm going to be your host for today's people and politics. I know you might be wondering, who exactly am I bringing today, and what are we looking at? We are looking at what concerns you and I, and that is why it is called people and politics. Now, our guest for today is a man you've all known, the mayor of Lagos, a journalist, and the MD CEO of Ifako Radio, the man himself, Mr. Olusegun Olanireti Ojo. Mr. Segun, it's nice to have you here.
Victor, thank you so much. I'm glad to be here too. It's
Yeah.
it feels somehow to be on the other side of the seats.
Yeah, it's a privilege to be here to actually drill a little bit the journalist who has been on the higher side of the studio always. Yeah, a lot of people have been asking by popular demand. That is why we have you here today. A lot of people have been asking that we want to hear from the big man, the boss himself. And that is why we said, okay, we are bringing him here today. Fine, it is shocking to a lot of people because we intentionally didn't do the publicity. We just want people to anticipate. And we know that here today, we are going to be having the best. Yeah, discussing people and politics. We know over the years you have been into journalism, and you've been maybe covering for people, politicians, and particularly things that have to do with government. And knowing that you are the CEO of Ifako Radio, definitely you must have had interaction with several people on the shows and all of that. So what does politics mean to you?
Wow. Don't make me feel as if God has handed me over to
I know some people will feel like finally, yes, we have a match for him. But then I'm just learning, so let's get onto it. What does politics mean to you generally?
Well, politics is life, is our daily style, our daily activities. I usually tell people, some people claim not to be politicians, but we are all political animals, whether we like it or not. In everything we do, we are politicking. In our various homes, religious houses, different organizations. So politics is life for me, because there is no place or how far you can go without politicking. So,
okay, you said everybody practice politics and we are all political animals. But I would like to say, a lot of people still have that belief that they are not politicians. And okay, I know why you are smiling. We'll get there. So a lot of people believe that they are not political animals. They are called technocrats. In fact, a lot of people still believe that they don't have to do politics before they do governance, which is actually true to a level or to an extent. So what do you want to say about these people? We have people that run some organizations that are apolitical. We have some that are non-partisan. We have some that just do activism and technocracy purely. Are you still going to, or what do you feel? What happens? What was your conviction? What was your conviction that made you feel, okay, everybody practice politics? Because a lot of people have never even been to any campaign or any political secretariat, and they can say they are not
you don't have to be involved with any political party to be partisan before you play politics. Just like I said, be the technocrat or what have you, even in your organizations, you formulate policies. You take a stand, you take positions. And in the course of doing that, sometimes you may need support from one or two other persons trying to sell your own idea. While you are doing that, you are politicking. You want people to key into your vision. You want people to key into your ideas. And when you're selling that to them, and maybe directly or indirectly, you persuaded them, you convinced them, let me use that word. When you're able to convince and they key into your vision, that is politics. You've been able at least to win them from where they were, and they've shifted ground to buying your own idea. That is politics. Let me start, for instance, in a family household where you have a father and a mother and maybe one or two kids. They may want to take a stand. Where do we go today for holiday? We go to social place. The mother may have another option. And in the long run, if 2 or 3 of the family members tilt to a particular side, that is politics. So directly or indirectly, we are all politicians.
Okay, let me stretch that a little bit. I remember a friend of mine usually say, he tells one of us that, okay, you always claim you're not a politician, but before you chose this particular clothes you wore today, you had several ones in your wardrobe. Why did you choose this particular one? While you were writing your exam, there was a question you didn't know the answer, but you just actually picked an option. Why did you choose that? So, well, if we are to go by that, I would like to say, truly we are.
So even in various religious houses, there's politics. Sometimes you feel so person is qualified to be a deacon. Do you know that in some religious homes, they elect who occupies a particular seat? So what do we call that?
Even in the house of God, there's election.
It happens.
Okay.
It happens.
But then, well, thank you very much, Mr. Shegun. But then, we still can't shy away from the core politics, the one we call the partisan politics. Yes, we understand that we all play politics in our decision-making aspect, but there is the core politics that everybody believes is politics, and that relates with governance, with government, and decision-making in the seat of power. What do you think about these people? Do you think we can do without, in some part of the world, there is literally anarchy, where they don't listen to the government, they practically do not have government. So, do you think without politics, a government or a nation can move forward? And why do you think so?
No. No nation can advance without politics. The fact remains that for there to be orderliness, there must be politics. There must be politicians. A lot of people are unruly if we leave everything to take shape or to take form by itself. Unfortunately, we may not even get results. So some people definitely had to shoulder the responsibility of calling the shots on behalf of the people at large. There's this Yoruba saying that says, "Idalu nishelu." Some people will definitely be there to administer, and that is all we need to move ahead. Administration, politics and administration also goes in pari passu. So a lot of people will claim, yes, administratively they are this, they are that, but they are not politicians. All a lie. There is no way you are not going to marry the two together. So a nation cannot survive without politicians. We only need the good ones. And in everything we do, we always have people that are upright and people that are there to serve their own selfish motive. That is what we should watch out against. That, okay, whosoever will be at the ends of our faith must be there in the interest of the people at large. But having a nation without politics, politician or politicking, I'm afraid we go nowhere.
Okay, I think I would note that, and people listening to us presently, I know a lot of people will be interested to throw in their questions and their reactions. So actually, you said in your statement that a nation cannot thrive without politics. So that will be bringing us to Nigeria of today. Now, politicians, when we say Nigeria, will be sitting particularly at the federal government level. Particularly, fine, you can still extend your point of view to the lower cadres of the government, but we are putting our point of focus on the federal government level. Do you think we have good politicians generally or statistically in Nigeria today?
That question is very, very dicey. Yes, we have good Nigerians. Let me put it that way.
We have good Nigerians.
Good Nigerians. And thank God as we have it, we are not importing politicians. Still the same Nigerians that are politicking at the level of, let me say, at the national level.
Okay.
Nevertheless, they only need to be conscientized. You see, talking about governance is not an easy thing. I tell people that care to listen. Leadership is a serious responsibility. We might see it from different perspectives, but nevertheless, we have good politicians. But yes, we have different sets of people with different mindsets, different notions, different agenda. What actually matters is what is the motive of the person that is really in charge. Some will be voted, some will not be voted. Some will emerge by way of appointment and what have you. It is now left to whosoever is giving them whatever office to conscientize them, to also assess them properly. Are they qualified for what you are giving them to do? Are they qualified to represent the interest of the people? Are they qualified to discharge the expected duties of the office they have been saddled with? But everything will still boil down to leadership. So if you ask me, at the moment, we have a good leader that is willing to advance the cause of the nation. We have testimonies of the policies that has been formulated in the last 2 years or thereabouts. But manifestation is what Nigerians are craving for. And when we are introducing a new policy, you may not, something that is different from what you used to have, you may not get instantaneous results, but we all need to exercise a bit of patience and see how well we can go with the new introduction.
Okay. I'm still going by every word you say. So from your statement, you said we have a good leader, which means, if I'm not wrong, you are talking about the presidency now.
Of course, yes.
Exactly. So now, we have about 200 million Nigerians, which you are one of them. Will you say, now, if we are to look at 50-50 percentage, about 100 million, that let's just say on an average, 100 million can say whatever 100 million people say, that's a 50% vote. Can you say 50% of Nigerians will agree with you that we have a good leader in Nigeria?
Yes, strongly. You will say I'll respond in affirmation.
Why?
Good. If we look at the policies that has been formulated since the present administration has been set in motion, we will discover that it is in a course to advance the cause of the nation For those that understand where we're coming from, where we are, and what we have our mind set on, they'll know that the president has been striving in all ramifications to ensure that Nigeria is better off than what it used to be. So definitely people will have a different perspective, different opinion. I won't, as a matter of fact, I would say we'll have more than 50% of those that will agree that we're moving towards the right direction. So we have a good lead.
Okay. And I hope you also note in mind that over 70% of the population are youths.
I agree with you.
Okay. Now, when we talk about people and politics, you know, when myself and a couple of team we were talking about people and politics some days ago, and we discovered that there is slight difference between people and politics, and there's a particular thing that exceeds people and politics, and that's what we call power. So now, when people enter into politics, like everyday people, when they enter into politics, they gain what? They gain power. Do you think people change after they gain power, or they still remain themselves? And can you just cite maybe an example of one person or two?
No doubt, power changes people. That's a fact. But we need to look at the credibility and the integrity level of whosoever we are calling to serve. That is why it is very important that the ongoing continuous voters registration exercise, everybody needs to be upright to discuss, so that we can have our voice heard, we can have our votes cast to choose whosoever we want. You see, a lot of people elect some people erroneously. A lot of people, by not playing the expected role, by folding their arms, elect the wrong set of people in power indirectly. But you see, it is not everybody that has been elected so far that is credible to represent the interests of the people. It depends on the agenda they're going there with. So when somebody is not credible from the outset, even from the professional angle that whosoever is coming from, when that person is not credible, that person should not be elected to represent the interest of the people. I was discussing with some people recently, and I told them, when you refer to some people as leaders, or before you accept them as leaders, you must look at their lives in all ramifications. Domestically, where are they coming from? Look at their household, the setup. How well have they been able to manage their own private life? We need to put all this in cognizance. You cannot give somebody the office of a representative, somebody that cannot represent his or her own family properly. Automatically, that person will help. Now, talking about power and how it corrupts. For somebody, a lot of people, power intoxicates them because they've never been there before. For some people who will say, been there, done that. You must have sized them up from the professional perspective. Have they delivered? We need to look at the profile of whosoever that is coming to represent us, or we are also calling to serve. Do they merit the office we want to call them to serve? Have they gotten such a trial? Have they been tested? If they are tested, do they deliver? We need to consider all these things. But there's this Yoruba saying that says that when you give wealth to those that doesn't deserve it, they abuse it. Something they've never seen before, and they will see themselves as if they're on top of the world. At that point, they won't listen to anybody. At that point, they don't give a damn whatever will happen in the long run. So we must be able to profile whosoever we're calling to serve, because power intoxicates people. So you need a lot of credibility, you need a lot of integrity, you need a lot of administrative acumen to be able to stand and ensure that you don't fail even when you see power.
Okay, so what you're trying to say now is that how people react when they get into power it's not a general thing. It's based on individuality.
God bless you.
It's based on their personality.
Exactly.
Okay, well, I want to agree with you on that also.
Mm.
So, from what you have said about Omojo, Rolari, and all of that, now we are coming to you now because we are doing people and politics, and we know you have experience in journalism and quite a number of things in government. So, I want to ask you, and I know this is a popular demand, a popular opinion. Are you a politician? A partisan politician?
I'm a journalist. I'm involved in politics. Everyone does.
Okay, maybe I will take that question again.
Maybe I will give you the same answer.
No, you are not going to give me the same answer, Mr. Shegun. Because I've asked just a direct question. I didn't say right in a few words. It is just a yes or no answer. So, are you a partisan politician? Do you need to take a break?
It's unnecessary. If you ask me this question 1,000 times, I may be coming from the same angle the number of times.
But I was just thinking to say a yes doesn't take up to a second. But we've been like
I think I answered from the outset. We are all politicians.
Oh, I never asked if Victor and Mr. Shegun are partisan politicians. I just asked that Mr. Shegun.
And I'm telling you now that everyone is a politician.
This is not about everyone. This is a question of you. Are you a partisan?
We are all politicians.
Okay. Well,
no matter what we do, no matter what we are involved with,
yes,
or in, we are all politicians.
Okay, well, do you want to tell me that, when we want to take the statistics of Nigeria, maybe using census, because I like to use statistics a lot. A pupil in primary 4 or so doesn't even know what a political party is, which is actually right. But you can't call that person a politician, a partisan politician.
It has to do with stage and understanding.
Now, the stage, the highest level, the highest stage, which is, that was why I was specific on partisan politics.
You see, let me be sincere with you.
Yes, you have to be sincere.
A lot of people will claim they are not partisan, but they are liars. It is the fact that they are shying away from the truth.
Okay.
So I will maintain, Victor,
yes,
we are all politicians.
We are all politicians. Well, okay, we will come back to that question because what I just observed is a little bit of, when you want to go straight and then
you're only saying it that way, but that is
what a lot of people are saying. A lot of people are saying it that way.
You are not them. You are you.
Okay, but the question I asked you was the question of you.
Yeah, you.
All right. Now this question also I want to ask is a popular demand, and a lot of young people have asked me to relate this question with you.
Okay.
Looking at a little bit of research about Mr. Shegun.
I thought you said we'll be discussing Nigeria.
Yes. Are you not a Nigerian?
Yes, I am.
And you represent Nigeria
as a nation.
Yes. If you go outside this country, you are representing Nigeria. Yes or yes?
It depends on the capacity.
But no matter what, if we are counting people, let's say outside the country, if we are counting people by their nationality, we are going to represent
Yes, I'll be
Nigeria.
referred to as a Nigerian.
So here also, this is a studio of Ifako Radio and Ifako Radio to the world. So now you are representing Nigeria in this studio. Welcome again, Mr. Shegun. So now, this question is a question from young people, and we are asking a Nigerian that we have on our studio today. The question is that, okay, let's look at a brief overview of your activism while you were much younger. Of course, you are still young and you look youthful. Your activism while you were much younger, you were into, from research, we discovered that you were into some activism that are a little bit partisan, and some that are also into politics, and some that are into particularly student struggle. I don't know if you have ever heard of anything like NAHIS before, National Association of Ifako Students. Okay, from research we also discovered that a Mr. Shegun Olanireti Ojo was also an active member of NAHIS in Ifako. So now, what would you say as a former active member of NAHIS? What was your experience in politics? in relation to being a student and a youth advocate? What was the experience you had then? Was it a very, very accommodating space for young people? You know, then a lot of young people have this energy, and then they want to exercise their franchise. Okay, we don't want this, we want this to happen, and all of that. So what was your experience then as a youth? What did you observe as a youth? We are still coming to the real political aspect, but now as a youth, a representative of the naives, then what was your experience? Would you say you perceived politics of the older generation then?
Victor, I said this earlier that you should not make me feel as if God has handed me over to you.
You can sip your tea if you want.
You've not offered me one.
I took after you.
Anyway, yes, I was an active member of the National Association of Students, and it was beautiful back then.
And you dealt with politicians a lot.
Yes. And we're not restricted to a particular political party.
Okay.
It was a student body, so we had access to people from all the political parties, and I think we were favored. Let me put it that way. We were well received. I have to commend the former council boss of blessed memory, Honorable Morubin Adeola Adebolabi, of the old Ifako local government. The reception with him was so wonderful. He gave us a platform to really fly. As a father that he was, he really gave us all the room that we needed to operate. In extension, Engineer Richard Adedayo Akinpelu, former council boss of Ifako local government, also late now, Honorable Lauren Toba, okay. They're all late. In extension, Dr. Elijah Oluwadewale, Dr. Ja, they really gave us the platform to fly. As well as Honorable Femi Onimole, was a member of National Assembly representing Ifako Federal Constituency. Even when he was with the PDP, we were well received. We were given the kind of privilege that we deserved, and we didn't abuse it. And we justify every given opportunity. At that point, I recall we were given bursary awards. A lot of students benefited. So many programs that Honorable Morubin Adeola Adebolabi will organize then, and we'll be given a formal invite and also given the necessary package. So it was beautiful back then. It was beautiful standing for the students, for the youth. As a matter of fact, I want to note that most of us started politics even as an underage. Okay,
most of us started politics.
Yes.
Okay.
Because we developed interest in politics, and we discovered that I've listened to the chairman of the National Youth Council of Nigeria, Lagos State chapter here, admonishing youth to get involved in politics and to be partisan. Yes.
Okay. Wait. Are you saying this that because you have mentioned that you started politics and now you are bringing Engineer Adigun, who is the chairman of National, into this matter that since Engineer Adigun has also said it.
We initiated us even long before it.
Okay.
Don't forget that. I'm only saying that is the gospel that is also trending.
Okay.
Which is a plus, because it is when you are actively involved that you'll be able to be part of the policy formulators. So you cannot stay outside the fold and be shouting Hosanna or crucifying outside the fold. You need to be involved so that your voice can also be heard. So it was a beautiful journey with the students and youths as far as Ifako is concerned. I recall that, yes, I also need to applaud Honorable Babajide Omowurare. Now, it should be, I'll refer to him as a senator. Senator Babajide Omowurare. the former majority leader, Lagos State House of Assembly, because then the State House of Assembly was like an extended base of the National Association of Ifako Students. We used to go there, and when we get to the gate, we just say, I'm Shegun Nais. And that name was so registered. They allowed us to flex and to operate. That was what we had.
Okay, Mr. Shegun. Yeah, I can say you've had a very, very good experience as a student advocate and as a youth advocate with politicians. You've had a very, very good experience, and not just personally, also with the umbrella body NAIS.
Yeah.
Okay, now you also made in your statement that of blessed memory, Honorable Adefolabi gave a good platform for young people to strive. You still being someone who is very, very relevant in the local government, knowing fully well what happens both in the political aspect and also in the youth aspect. Are you going to say the same platform still exists for young people in this same geographical area where Honorable Adefolabi gave his own platform?
Yes and no. It has to, it depends on who is calling what shot and who occupies what seat. You see, back then, the idea of who is more resourceful, who is more credible, was so much in use. But now, we have a lot of people that, yes, do have the interest of the youth at heart, but what is the strength of those that have the interest of the youth at heart? Are they in charge? Are they allowed to operate freely? I want to be very careful in that regards, because when you look at it, a lot of people really want to allow the youths to operate, but unfortunately they don't have the power. For those that have the power, were they also not twisted backward? I want us to look at this critically, but no doubt I'm not going to, I don't want to compare then and now. It is not too pleasant now. It is not too rosy. It isn't.
Okay. Yeah, on that note, you have really expressed the fact and the truth that particularly when you started yes and no, and also it is based on the individual, the person sitting in power, and also if people that have the interest of youth at heart are in power also. So now, a lot of people are, let me say, fewer percentage of Nigerians are in power, right?
Sure.
We have the masses out there being a normal Nigerian. Now, we still have quite a number of people who are young and are interested in getting political power. Are you going to say there is still room? Because statistically again, or naturally, we know that the power up there or the offices up there can never be enough for everybody. Everybody cannot be in government at the same time. Fine, we can be the government of our own by participating in governance, but not everybody will be at the seat of power at the same time. Are you going to say over there at the top, there are rooms for young people to get into power, either through technocracy, either through advocacy or partisan politics? Are there still opportunities for young people there, or the same set of people of over 20 years are still trying to gatekeep young people? What is your view about this?
You see, it is a little to the right and a bit to the left. I am an optimist. I know that things will continue to get better by the special grace of God. We have different types of leaders. You see, at this level, there are so many people that doesn't even want you to leave this level, because the moment you leave, you'll be better and probably be above them. And at that level, there are so many people that doesn't want you to get there, because they know that if you get there, you will match up with them, so they want to send you backward. Talking about the fate of the youth,
Yeah.
we need divine intervention. I have to be very sincere with you. I have stated that we have different types of leaders. We have leaders that want the youth to grow. They used to tell us back then that we are the leaders of tomorrow. That was the story then. Yes, we have a lot of youthful people at the ends of our fair as we speak. But how and what time do they get the power? We need to look at this. Yes, if we look at Lagos State at large, the state government is doing wonderfully well when it comes to that. If we look at our own constituency here, we have a youthful person as the lawmaker representing this constituency.
Okay.
Even there, Jokoro. But nevertheless, our leaders giving room for the youth to operate the way it should be. And when they consider the youth, is it the same or the right set of youth? We have different categories. And in that area, I also want to be very, very careful, choosing my words carefully. Are they giving the right set of youth the platform to operate? Or just their own preferred for what they believe that they can use them for?
Okay, Mr. Shegun, I think you have actually hit the nail on the head. So, I would want you to, there is this perception of people that a lot of people over the years have been in power 20, 30 years. They're moving from one cadre to the other, moved from lower cadre to higher cadre. Some even from higher cadre, they went back to just because they want to remain in power. And a lot of young people, and not everybody will believe that they are politicians. Not everybody actually believe that they have that power in their hands. And while we have this observation, what we just need to do is to increase our sensitization and their orientation. But notwithstanding, a lot of people we have seen, maybe over the social media, that people usually say this notion that let them just kill all politicians, let them eliminate everybody, and we start a new government. Do you think this is realistic in starting a new government?
It is not. I don't belong to that school of thought. But in all fairness, we need to cleanse the system. But it's not necessarily a situation of death. But we need to cleanse the system.
Okay. Well, we are still on people and politics, and you being a personality, we are dealing with the people. Then we'll still go back to the federal government stand in a few moments from now. But still on you. We started from the stand of the federal government. Then we are moving to you now. So one thing we want to ask you, you have mentioned that you started politics, advocacy, struggle, and all of that for a couple of years. A lot of people also want to be like you. People want to join politics. A lot of people don't even know where to start from. And a lot of people don't even have that optimism like you do. They believe that, okay, when they join, I know a couple of my friends that whenever they want to join politics or advocacy, their girlfriends, their parents, they always say that, once you join, they will do this to you, they will eliminate you, they will, none of that. When did you join politics?
I joined politics in 1996.
1996.
Yes, that was about
almost 30 years now.
Yes.
Wow. So we can say that you are a guru in politics.
No.
Okay.
I won't say I'm a guru. When you say guru,
but Mr. Shegun, it takes 18 years for a baby to become a full-grown adult, biologically, socially, economically. 18 years. But now you are going to politics.
That is just a figure.
And that is the popularly, that's the legal age.
You see, yes, we call it the legal age because of the position of the Constitution.
Exactly.
That doesn't mean a lot of people imagine adults at 18. We should not forget that.
Yes. But then we should not also forget that you made a statement that whenever you get to the Lagos State House of Assembly at the gate, people could recognize you over the years. So definitely, even back then, you were fire.
Because
so now we can say that was okay.
Then Neil Joseph.
But then we can still say then you were fire. But now you are not just fire alone. You are like molten magma. You are volcano. So you are just like
You see all these identities I don't know if they are for me.
So now we believe that you are a political juggernaut. And
politics of this local government, politics of this state, and the kind of disappointment you get sometimes can melt melt a mountain.
Okay.
There are a lot of things that are seriously not encouraging, and we need to face the reality.
Okay.
Let me leave that for now.
Okay, still on the fact that a lot of people want to know how they can get into politics. Like we have so many people viewing you. How did you join politics? Was it someone who introduced you? Was it your father? Was it your girlfriend then? Was it maybe you just woke up and you felt like, okay, I don't have anything doing again, I need to join politics, and you went to maybe a party secretariat, let's say APC, you went to their party secretariat and then said, I want to join politics. How did you join politics? What influenced you? What spurred your interest into joining politics? And how?
You see, for me, I love a gathering of people. And I recall 1996, I was in secondary school. Okay. So me and some of my friends, like Comrade Najim Lawal, okay. Comrade Ibrahim Lawal, you can call him Obaole, Comrade Kozem Odetobi, and those in that category. Then when we're coming back from school, we see these sets of people that gathered doing meetings. For me, I fell in love. I love the gathering. I'll just stop by and listen. What are they doing? What is happening there? And that was how it started. Not that somebody asked me, let's go to meeting or let's join a particular
okay, so you're saying that you saw people involved in politics, and
yes,
not that maybe your father told you to join
another
politics.
Thing that could have influenced,
okay,
that could have, let me put it that way,
okay,
is that my father was part of them.
Okay, your father was a politician.
Yes, my mother was also.
Your mother was a politician. You chose journalism.
Yes, as a career, it is expected that you. People can't say, some people will say they are called politicians, and I tell them you're only fooling yourself. We are all politicians.
Okay, so Mr. Shegun, now back to the question before we go to the national state of the politics. Are you a politician? A partisan politician?
We are all politicians.
I'm not talking about you and your family members. I'm saying you now.
No, I'm not even talking about my family members. I'm talking about everyone.
No, this is not a question of everyone.
We are all politicians.
Okay, I want to ask two questions.
We only need to admit the admittable.
Mr. Shegun, I want to ask you two questions. And I want different answers.
Victor, stop making it God has handed you over to me.
I want to ask you two questions and I want different answers because these are two different questions. As a nation, as a people, are we politicians?
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are politicians. Are you a politician?
We are all politicians.
You are still using we for two different questions.
Yes, I answered for everyone.
Oh, I hope it's not a disappointment to our people because I told them we are going to be bringing a real political juggernaut.
I don't know anything about those adjectives.
Okay. But then
those that are also watching, they are all politicians.
Not every people can tell you they are not.
Let's stop shying away from.
I mean partisan politics. But then this is a question of yes or no, Mr. Shegun.
For you or for me?
For you, I'm asking you a question. This is something that a lot of people have asked me.
I am a politician.
Okay. Moving on.
As much as you are.
As much as I am, okay. Moving on. Now let us look at Nigeria of today. We will still relate this with you personally, but then I would like to say Nigeria today we have moved from a low level exposure in politics to a higher level exposure in politics. What do I mean? It is that when we look at the number of people that are involved in politics, in advocacy, we increase by the day.
Yes.
Do you agree with me?
Yeah.
So now the exposure and the orientation increases by the day. Now, if this increases by the day, are you of the opinion that we have actually reached an average level, or we are still far to where we are supposed to be politically? Like, how much people are aware of politics? You know, a lot of people will believe that, okay, like in Ifako, a lot of people are aware about politics. Ifako is like a local government that is enclosed with this closeness, the credibility of politics. A lot of people are aware of, but every street knows about politics in Ifako. But it is not, we can't say it is the same everywhere. So can you say in Nigeria as a whole, being a journalist, in Nigeria as a whole, can you say that the level of awareness of politics and governance that we have amongst the people, is it enough? Is it up to average, or we are still far behind?
You see, for me, it can always get better, because we still have a lot of room for improvement. Even when you look at those that are actively involved, their understanding differs. Within the fold of people we call partisan politicians, a lot of people are into the system for several reasons. Some are there to just benefit one thing or the other. Some are there because of either Mr. A or Mr. B, and that is the sole motive. But if we have to look at it from the general perspective that involves the nation as it should be, then there's so much room for improvement. That
Okay.
means, we still have a long way to go.
Quickly, I want to take this question. Someone is asking and says, what are some examples where people's action change political outcomes? You've been a student advocate, you've been an advocate in the youth space, and you've been a politician. So definitely you have cut across a big level of governance and politics in Nigeria, and particularly in your local government. So what can you say about action changing politics? What are core examples, maybe in the local government or in the nation view of it? Can you just mention one or two spaces where people's action have actually changed politics? We are talking about people and politics.
All right, but don't package me beyond what I know.
Of course. Yeah, I know you know far much more than what we are talking about, and because of time, you might not be able to stretch as much as we should.
That may not be absolutely correct. But the fact remains that we've seen actions changes the face of politics.
Okay.
Let's look at the 2023 general elections,
Okay.
especially the presidential elections, when the Progressive Congress lost at Lagos State to the presidential election now to Labour Party. That was as a result of the position that people, the stand they took back then. And if we can apply this at all times, that we charge politicians to be more responsive, more responsible, and at all times be ready to listen to the masses. It happened then. Under normal circumstances, the Progressive Congress that happened to be the government in place in Lagos State then wouldn't have lost their state to a party that was freshly introduced. So that was a strong action, and that was a strong indication that nothing stands forever.
Okay.
This can continue to happen. And you discover that after that election, the ruling party had to put themselves on their toes to ensure that they reach out to all nooks and crannies of the state before they could win the governorship election. If they've been doing that from the outset, it will be a better society than what we have now. So that is one of the actions. And maybe I should stop
Okay, yeah, because of our time, I must tell you for a fact that a lot of questions have been coming in, and we might not be able to take a lot of people. Sincerely, I must say it is so much fun having you here. At least we have been able to get some element of truth, particularly you confessing to us that you are a core
I know that
politician.
is very important. I didn't say that. I only told. I don't. I
You,
did
you,
not
you,
use
you,
the
but you
word
just
core.
said, you just
We
said
are all politicians.
that you
Yes, I
are
am
a
a politician.
Yeah, you said we are.
a politician. We are all
No,
politicians.
I'm not denying that fact. I'm not saying I'm not, but this is a question of you, and you have actually agreed and given us your word that yes,
we are
you are
politicians.
truly a politician. So, Mr. Shegun, as an individual, as an individual, I want you to talk about the 2027 election just briefly. We've observed the coalition from one party. We've observed people defecting from one party. A lot of political parties are yet to find their flag bearer. Let us look at ADC. ADC, we have someone like the former vice president, Atiku, is moving. He has been running since over 20 years, if I'm not wrong, and he has tried as much to be in the seat of power. What can you say in just a summary? What is your observation? What is one summary that you can say about the 2027, particularly when it comes to coalition from or defect from one political party to the other? What can you say about this?
2027, may God spare our life till and beyond them. It's going to be beautiful, and people will be shocked with the result of that 2027 election. Yes, a lot of people are forming a coalition now, but we should look at the credibility of people forming the coalition. That should tell you that most of them are confused, and they don't really have a base. The Atiku Abubakar that you referenced, as we speak now, cannot beat his chest to tell us categorically where he stands. If we look at the likes of Peter Obi, who is neither here nor there too, he's also claiming to be part of the coalition. Let's also look at Rotimi Amechi, El Rufai, and their likes. Marafa, they can't be said to be, or should I say, they are baseless at the moment. So coalition for me is like a dead on arrival thing. Unless they have to go back to the drawing board, they need to re-strategize and main business, not just because we want to fight Tinubu. Tinubu is not the issue. If you want to take a stand, take a stand. And if you're not ready, I'm afraid. But from what they are doing, it has to. I'm not seeing them going further.
Now we've talked about briefly on the 2027 election. Can we just reflect a little back on the just concluded election in Lagos State, which happened on the 12th of July 2025? Not just only as a politician, not just as an individual, but also as a CEO of Ifako Radio. I believe Ifako Radio moved from one local government to the other, from one ward to the other. What were your observations about politics? Do you think we are still experiencing godfatherism? That's one. Do you think we are still experiencing very low awareness of politics? Do you think there are things, what were your observations aside even these two I've mentioned?
Yes, I was on the streets there myself with other members of the team. We still have a long way to go. A long way to go. Godfatherism, yes. It's still very much in existence. Low awareness, yes. Another thing is the interest from the people. People are not really motivated. They are not really encouraged. But sometimes you need nobody to encourage you. You just have to encourage yourself as well. We're talking about my own involvement in politics earlier.
Now we are still going back there.
Yes. If you permit me, I quickly want to mention one or two things.
Okay.
You see, despite the fact that I was interested, I love the gathering of people, and occasionally I'll stop by and see what they are doing. I'll wait till the round of the meeting. There were so many other side attractions too. The so-called good boys, when they started dramatizing, I fell in love with it. I have one or two other people, when they speak at those political gatherings, I love the way they marshal their points. When they speak Yoruba, there's this former councillor of this particular ward, Honorable Rashid Quadri, we call him Black and Chan. when I listened to him then, with the way he used Yoruba words, I fell in love with him. I always wanted to listen to him because he was so vast in those lines. And at the same time, when I eventually became of age, my dad, of blessed memory, he saw politics, he took it holistically, just like the way he handled religious matters. A meeting can be going on and you stay at home. No, every one of us, all his children that are of age, you go to the meeting because anything can happen there.
So your dad also influenced your interest in
yes,
politics?
at that point,
Okay.
you just have to be at the meeting. So what I'm saying in essence is that sometimes you need not wait for people to come and motivate or encourage you. You need to encourage yourself because you need to ask yourself still, when you are asking a nation to do this for you, what are you also doing in return? And you cannot stay outside the fold and be wanting something to be effected without you being part of the system. So people also need to encourage themselves because when you look around, a lot of youths doesn't have their PVC, which is a serious minus factor. And you see this set of youths, they go on social media chanting,
Sweeting.
lamenting, and whining, and that is not the way to go.
Okay, yeah, we've spoken about the election to come, the election that was just concluded. Now we want to talk about what we are yet to see. Now you've started politics, we are wrapping up. You've started politics for quite about some 30 years and all of that. What should we expect from Mr. Segun politically? Should we get our PVC ready prior 2027 elections? We never can tell. This is a big shot for you. You can shoot your shot now, and the world is going to listen to you, and then we accept whatever you say. So, what should we get ready for you? Should we get our PVCs ready, and what do you have in store for people prior 2027 election?
Yes, we all need to get our PVCs, myself inclusively, though I have mine and I'm keeping it jealously.
Okay.
And for those that doesn't have,
Do you mean keeping it jealously as a front runner or as a flag bearer?
it is very important that I am part of the system at all times. At least when you have your PVC,
Yes.
you
The
can
people
vote
you
and
want to
also be
convince
voted.
also will be able to follow suit.
You see, you can vote and also be voted.
Voted for. Okay. Yes.
So what matters is that we
Voted for.
we should all have our PVCs.
PVCs.
We can't tell what the
So that we can
stuff.
vote.
Yes, I can as well vote.
Definitely you will vote. Even it is constitutionally right that even if they are
So
going
we
for
all
an
need
elected
to have,
position,
so we all need to have our PVCs. Even for those, you see, some people go for political appointments, and they also need their PVCs as well.
Yeah.
Because during the course of screening and what have you, if there is no rigmarole, these are things they should provide. It is very necessary. And let's at all times look at the antecedents of whosoever we want to give this or that to. Let me just leave it at that.
okay. Just two more questions and we'll call it a wrap.
Okay.
Come. Now, a lot of people want to be like you, sincerely speaking. A lot of young people actually look at you and feel like, oh, this is a role model politically. This is a role
You're
model.
making me feel beautiful.
Of course you are, and fine in our studio, you also are. Now,
Be like me because I'm very, very
do you have a political mentor? Do you have someone you aspire to be like? Do you have someone you look at?
I love my dad.
Hmm.
He was the best for me. Believe you me sincerely. Though due to most of his policies, he didn't achieve so many things. Talking about material things, but nevertheless, when I remember that I am Ojo, I have this so much pleasure in me. He was my best, and he still remains my best.
Okay. So now, the last question before we call it a wrap. A lot of people are looking at you, as I've said, they want to be like you. What do you have to say to them, to the younger generation that are aspiring to join politics? What is one thing or a statement you would like to let them know?
Yes, I'll tell them to follow their mind. They should pursue their dream, they should take a stand, because if they don't stand up for something, they will fall for anything. They should be decisive, and politics is a good thing. Yes, they will tell you it's a dirty game. No. Yes, we have so many dirty players, but you can change the face of the whole team.
Okay.
They should take this time.
Yeah. Lastly, before we call it a day, sincerely speaking, we must say from Ifako Radio, we really had a good time with you, Mr. Shegun. We really had a nice time with you, and I know that the audience also had a worthy time of their seats. So thank you so much for being on the show today, and thank you also for the privilege as the CEO. Lastly,
You said your lastly more than 4 times now.
yeah, the lastly I said earlier was just once, but this one I called it like 3 times.
Okay.
Yeah. So now, is there anything you just like to say to the public? Aside, it can be to the politician or maybe to some beautiful feminine gender somewhere that have been crushing on you or something. You never can tell. This can just be an anonymous message to somebody. But anything you just feel like saying,
Victor,
you have a platform.
my wife is a very jealous type, and she won't take that lightly.
We are on people and politics.
Anyway, I want to tell the people that you almost twisted my arms backward. I didn't prepare for this. It wasn't what I expected. I only expected a chit chat thing, but you took me through a long drive. It's a player anyway, but nevertheless, I want to thank everybody for being part of the Ifako Radio, for the love they've shown us hitherto. They should continue to give us that support, because just like I stated earlier, we are still struggling, and with them we know we can go very far, and that Ifako Radio is for all, no discrimination. And that was why I was being careful in the area of responding to your political question, because irrespective of your political affiliation, this is a media organization.
Definitely.
You have the platform here. Our doors are always open to everyone. So, and submissively, I want to say a big thank you to the good people of Ifako, Ijai.
All right. This is Mr. Shegun Ojo throwing out an appreciation to all the fans, all the lovers, all the family of Ifako Radio. Thank you so much. Yeah, we really had a good time with you, Mr. Shegun, and we must say thank you for giving us that privilege. And the team is also saying thank you. Ifako Jai is saying thank you. We do not have so much time. We would have gone for that, but then this is going to be
you've done enough.
this is going to be the end for today. Stay tuned to join us on Ifako Radio, People and Politics, same time next week. We never can tell. Maybe the second arm of government of Mr. Shegun will be the one sitting here. Thank you very much. I am your host for today. I am the host, People and Politics, Victor Kolade Adogbajale is my name. Thank you.
The market no dey sell. Everything it cost, it passed before. But our governor